Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Samambonam, chapter 21. The gopis glorify the song of Krishna's flute. And we are reading text 6. Please repeat after me. Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarvabhuta Manaharam Shrutva Vrajastriyaha Sarvaha Varnayantaha Abhire Bhire Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarvabhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vrajastriya Sarva Varnayantyo Bhire Bhire Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarvabhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vrajastriya Sarva Varnayantyo Bhire Bhire Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarvabhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vrajastriya Sarva Varnayantyo Bhire Bhire Sarvabhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vrajastriya Sarva Varnayantyo Bhire Bhire Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarvabhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vrajastriya Sarva Varnayantyo Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarvabhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vrajastriya Sarva Varnayantyo Bhire Bhire. Matajis. Iti Venuravam Rajan Sarvabhuta Manoharam Shrutva Vrajastriya Sarva Varnayantyo Bhire Bhire. Iti. Thus, Venuravam, the vibration of the flute. Rajan, O King Parikshit, Sarvabhuta, of all living beings. Manaharam, stealing the minds. Shrutva, hearing. Vrajastriyaha, the ladies standing in the village of Vraja. Sarvaha, all of them. Varnayantyaha, engaged in describing. Abhire Bhire, embraced one another. Translation purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O King, when the young ladies in Vraja heard the sound of Krishna's flute, which captivates the minds of all living beings, they all embraced one another and began describing it. Purport. The word iti here indicates that after becoming speechless by remembering Krishna, the cowherd damsels then regained their composure and were thus able to ecstatically describe the sound of Krishna's flute. As a few gopis began to exclaim, and the other gopis realized that they shared the same ecstatic love within their hearts, all of them started embracing one another, overwhelmed with conjugal love for young Krishna. Nam Vishnu Bharaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vikas Swami Nam Vishnu Bharaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale So I read the verse again. Iti venuravam rajan sarvabhuta manoharam shrutva vrajastriya sarva varnayantyo bhire bhire. O king, when the young ladies in Vraja heard the sound of Krishna's flute, which captivates the minds of all living beings, they all embraced one another and began describing it. So, we are discussing this chapter, which is famously called as Venu Gita. It's the sound of, or the song which emanates from Krishna's flute. And this entire chapter, as has been discussed in the previous two classes, will be speaking about how the gopis relate to the sound which is emanating from Krishna's flute. And it will also speak about the different moods which the gopis experience. Of course, for most of us here, it's very difficult to understand the exact mood and emotions of the gopis. But after studying all the first 9 cantos and a portion of 10th canto also, we have come to this stage. So we are going to discuss as much as our capacity allows. So this, so here, if you see, it's like a continuation of what we have discussed in the last 2 classes, and it's an extension of what we discussed yesterday. So one thing is, this entire chapter is going to speak about the flute of Krishna, how the sound produces from that, and what all moods and emotions are experienced by different devotees. So this flute is very special in the sense that it is used for multiple purposes. If we see from Brahma Samhita and even from the 2nd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna, he plays the flute and initiates Lord Brahma into Vedic knowledge. So the Vedas, which according to Vedic culture is emanating from Lord Brahma's pores, but Lord Brahma is initiated by Krishna by playing his flute. Right? So that those prayers also come now. Venum Konantam Arvindam Dalayataksham and so on in Brahma Samhita. So Lord Brahma initiates, Krishna initiates Lord Brahma into Vedic knowledge, and what happens is Brahma gains the knowledge about Krishna, right? All the Vedic literatures are supposed to speak about Krishna. Vedescha sarvair ahameva vidya. Krishna is to be understood from all the Vedic literatures. So this flute invokes a different emotion in Lord Brahma in the sense that it initiates him into Vedic knowledge, and then it reveals Krishna's supremacy, or he as the origin of all origin, the cause of all causes, is taught to Lord Brahma. But then the mood completely changes when the same flute is played in Vraja. Right? And the devotees in Vraja, all the 4 rasas are very prominent. The Shanta rasa is there, then Vatsalya rasa, Sakhi rasa, and Madhuri rasa. Each of the devotees in these different rasas, they understand, or they interact, or they reciprocate to Krishna's flute in different ways. So this is mentioned by Sri Jiva Goswami in his commentary to the 3rd verse of this particular chapter. So we can see, when Mother Yashoda sends Krishna out to rear the cows, to take the cows, then when Krishna plays his flute, then she gets the understanding that Krishna is well. Because so many demons have already attacked him when he was within her own protection. But then now when he plays his flute, nothing bad is happening at this point of time. So Krishna is well. And it also expresses Krishna's happiness. So these are the things which Mother Yashoda gathers from just playing Krishna, from hearing Krishna playing his flute. So then his expression of happiness in the midst of his friends. So it's not only that Krishna is well, he's also happy. That's why he's playing this very nice flute, and in association of his friends, he's very happy. And he is not hungry. Mother Yashoda is always very careful that Krishna never goes hungry. So she packs him lunch and so many other things for him to take when he goes out. So she knows that Krishna is not hungry, he's satisfied, he's well fed. He's not attacked by demons. So therefore that is a way also he's protected, and he's playing and having a very good time with all his friends. And Krishna also plays his flute when he comes back after in the evening. And then when he comes back, then everybody else, just by hearing the sound of the flute, becomes very ecstatic. Mother Yashoda is hankering for Krishna to come back so that she can serve him, give him bath, and decorate him nicely, give him prasadam, and so on. And in Vraja also they give prasadam. So they offer the bhoga to Lord Vishnu or Lord Narayana, whom they worship. So they have their altar. So we are not doing anything different here, right? So they also, in Vrajavasis also, they offer their bhoga to Lord Vishnu and then give the prasadam to Krishna. We are also doing the same thing here. So whatever we do here, we'll continue in the spiritual world also, whenever we go there. So now she wants to do that, right? She wants to do that because of her motherly feelings towards Krishna. And it's like Acharyas explained that when Mother Yashoda sees Krishna coming back, when she hears that flute, then Udipana, this ecstatic emotions, that anticipation that her dearmost child is going to come increases within her heart. And when she sees him coming, right, playing and coming back, then it's mentioned that it's like a dried plant has been watered, and then manure has been put in that so that the plant is nourished and then it grows nicely. So that's how Mother Yashoda feels when Krishna is not there. And when he comes back, she's very happy. And Krishna also reciprocates, such that the feelings that Mother Yashoda have, it's not one-sided. So Krishna also reciprocates. He glances at his mother. He has adoration for his father when he comes back. Then he has merciful glances that he gives to his servants. So there's a reciprocation. And if you see, it's very amazing in that way that Krishna has so many devotees surrounding him when he enters. We are all in different rasas. There are devotees who are in Shanta rasa, or his servants, Dasi rasa. There are devotees who are in Sankhya, his friends, of course, they are with him. Then Vatsalya rasa is there, Mother Yashoda is there, Nanda Maharaj is there, then his elder relatives are there. And then Madhurya rasa is also there because other gopis are also there at that time. And when the bhoga is offered to Lord Narayana, then Krishna accepts that prasadam. Although he sits in the midst of Nanda Maharaj and other of his cowherd friends, but with each of these devotees, he's reciprocating at the same time, at the same place, in different rasas. So Mother Yashoda, she thinks that Krishna is only paying her attention. She thinks that he's taking prasadam and he's fed very nicely and is acknowledging as to how I have served him. At the same time, the cowherd friends are looking at him and Krishna is reciprocating with them in such a way that they're discussing what all naughtiness they did when they were playing in Vraja. So that's happening at the same time. So and then there are the gopis. So Srimati Radharani specifically cooks for Krishna. Then she glances towards Krishna. Krishna is glancing towards her, and all the other associates of Srimati Radharani, they are seeing how the interaction is going on. So it's not that at one point of time Krishna is interacting only with one devotee. He's interacting with all of them at the same time, and each of these devotees in different rasas, they think that Krishna is only paying attention to them. He's not paying attention to anybody else. So that way, he's very glorious. That way that he's able to interact. And of course, he's Akhila Rasamrita Murti. So all the rasas are within him, and it's all nectarian, and each of these devotees are able to experience that at the same time, in the same place, although he's performing that particular pastime of only taking prasadam. Now this is the mood of of Mother Yashoda when she comes, when Krishna comes back, or when she's asking Krishna to leave, or not asking Krishna to leave, but when Krishna goes to the forest to herd cows. Now, how the gopis feel when Krishna plays his flute is the rest of the chapter, so we'll not be discussing that. And just to understand, we also have to see how Krishna feels. So one aspect, when I was reading this, I thought of that Krishna's mood is basically, can be understood by the choice of his instruments that he uses. So he has flute in Vraja, and outside of Vraja, he has his conch shell, Panchajanya Hrishikesho, and so on. So based on the choice of his instrument, we can understand what mood Krishna is in. So when he's in Vraja, he's very relaxed. It's a leisure and pleasure for him. So when he plays the flute, he's very, very relaxed, he's very, very happy. And when he's in Mathura or Dwaraka or Kurukshetra, then he has his conch. There's no flute in Mathura, there's no flute in Dwaraka, Kurukshetra and all. He's not playing flute in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. You cannot even imagine that happening. So conch is serious business. So whenever Krishna wants to carry out serious business, then conch shell is used. But when he's very relaxed and when he's playful, he wants to interact with his devotee in a more natural way, in a more intimate way, then flute is brought out. And this can also be seen by the way Krishna decorates himself. So in Vraja, he decorates himself with forest flowers, with so many different ornaments made up of exotic items or beads which are found in the nature. This Gunja Mala and other things he uses. In Vrindavan also they put this Gunja Mala, this red and white beads. Red, white and black beads they put for Krishna because it is found. These beads are found in nature and they use it. But this cannot be imagined in Mathura, Dwaraka or in Hastinapur, wherever Krishna is outside of Vraja. There he is bedecked with all golden ornaments, golden jewels and so on. He has bracelets in his hand. Then necklaces are there. Then helmet is there. In the Vraja, the helmet, he has this pagadi and all, where this peacock flower will be there. But then you cannot put this in Dwaraka and Mathura. He has a different kind of decoration. So the mood is different. So Krishna's mood is different in different places. So devotees, as devotees, our goal is to please Krishna, right? So we understand that the entire goal of life is that Krishna is satisfied. Akhilarte Krishna Cheshtha. That's what you said, right? Krishnarte Akhila Cheshtha. Okay, I just twisted it. So whatever has to be done, it is for the pleasure of Krishna. That is how it is to be performed. Every activity is for the pleasure of Krishna. But if we see, in Vraja, Krishna is the most happy person, correct? His interaction with his devotee, he's playing flute, he's happy in more relaxed manner. But then at the same time, we see the whole goal is to please Krishna. And if someone is already pleased, then pleasing him should be easy manner, right? In previous times, when the kings would have very good mood, then whatever good news is told to them, they used to reward them very nicely. So if someone is very happy, he's in a very good and jovial mood, then he becomes pleased very happily by doing only small amounts of service to that particular person. But if you see, there's a paradox here. Although Krishna is very happy in Vrindavan, attaining Vraja is very difficult for devotees. Going back to Godhead, going Goloka Vrindavan, attaining Goloka Vrindavan is very, very difficult for devotees. So although Krishna is very relaxed. So it looks like a paradox. Paradox means although it seems that it should be simple, but actually it is not. Attaining the mood of Vraja, getting entrance into Vraja is actually very, very difficult. Of course, because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we have that door open. But then it's the most confidential aspect of the personality of Godhead, of Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita also at several places speaks about confidential knowledge. And Srimad Bhagavatam also, when you search confidential, the word confidential, there are so many hits that comes in Veda base. So but the topmost confidential aspect itself is to have personal interaction with Krishna when we go to the spiritual world. So that is there. But then when Krishna is pleased, is always happy, in a very leisure mood, very happy mood in Vraja, why is it so difficult to please him? And why is it difficult to attain Vraja? So it's like a paradox. It's something which we have to think about. So the reason for that is because the devotees of Vraja, the devotees of Vrindavan, are very dear to Krishna. They're very dear to Krishna, and Krishna's mood is to always protect them from any external influence. So the intimacy the intimacy that Krishna has with his devotees and the reciprocation of the devotees with Krishna is so intimate. There's no other word to explain, but then we're just trying to put mundane words into spiritual emotions. It's so intimate that Krishna wants to protect his devotees from, at any cost, from any external influence. So that way, to get entrance into Vraja, it's very, very difficult because Krishna will not allow entrance unless and until we become a follower of one of his devotees. So non-devotees are of course not allowed in Vraja, and even devotees who have this Aishwarya Gan, whose devotion is tinged with the knowledge of Krishna's opulence, of knowledge of Krishna's Aishwarya, even they are not allowed inside Vrindavan. Because Krishna thinks, forget about non-devotees, even those devotees who are influenced with Aishwarya Gyan, they also cannot have entrance into Krishna's pastimes in Vraja. And a famous example is of course Lakshmi Devi. She wanted to enter into the Raslila, the intimate pastimes of Krishna, but she could not get entrance to that because she has that awe and reverence mood for Lord Vishnu, for Krishna. So that is there. So what to speak of non-devotees? Even devotees, pure devotees who have this devotion, I will not say mixed with, but with that Aishwarya Gyan, they also are not allowed. So you can understand, Krishna is so protective about the intimate mood that the devotees have in Vraja for him. So now this may lead to a question that if that is the case, then how are the demons able to enter Vraja? When the demons are out and out envious of Krishna, they are sent because Kamsa asked them to go, and then they have the only goal of them was to somehow find Krishna and kill him. But then they are able to enter Vraja. So how is that possible? So the answer is that although the demons come there, Krishna allows those demons to come for the reason that it increases the anxiety of his devotees, which in turn increases the intensity of these devotees' emotions for Krishna, increases the intensity of the devotees' love for Krishna, and for that purpose, Krishna allows those demons to come inside. And what does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? He says that paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuga yuga. So whenever he comes to this world and he kills all these demons, then there is a reason behind it. That is to establish dharma. So when he kills Jarasandh, he did not kill Jarasandh, but then when he defeats Jarasandh, when he kills Kamsa, and when he orchestrates the entire Kurukshetra battle, it is for the purpose of establishing proper dharma. But if we see the demons who are killed in Vraja, there is no establishment of dharma there. Correct? Krishna is not killing those demons because he wanted to establish dharma there. It is for pastime sake only for the sake of his devotees. Right? So when Krishna is in danger, we can understand the mood of Mother Yashoda or the Gopas. The Gopas are kind of confident. After 1 or 2 encounters with the demons, they are confident that Krishna will be able to take care of them. But still there is some amount of anxiety. And when the Gopas themselves are attacked by some of the demons, then they get into even more anxiety. So all those pastimes, we have some of them we have already seen. It's explained in Krishna book, of course. So the demons, although they enter into Vraja, but the main purpose why Krishna allows them to enter into Vraja is so that he can intensify or increase the mood of devotion and love that his intimate devotees have for him. Right? And the pastimes of Kaliya is there. Then Aghasura is there. Right? In the pastime of Kaliya, if we see, Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj were so perturbed because Krishna jumped into that river. We will not explain or go into all these details, but all these pastimes we can remember, and we can see how the devotees are put into so much anxiety because of this demon. And then when these demons are ultimately killed, or ultimately they are disposed of, then the ecstasy that the intense emotions that the devotees experience. And then there are different prayers and so on. The pastimes moves in such a way that whenever Krishna is in Vraja, if you see, in Srimad Bhagavatam also, there are regularly demons coming, and then they enhance the mood and emotions of different types of devotees. When Aghasura is killed, the Gopas were there. And during Kaliya's pastime, then Mother Yashoda was there, and so on. Different devotees with different moods, they have their intensity increased by these demons who enter into Vraja. So Krishna's nothing can happen without Krishna's will. So when Krishna allows this demon to come, then it's because so that the intensity of these emotions can be increased. And as we discussed, so the entrance into Vraja is only possible for devotees when this Aishwarya Gyan is also removed over a period of time. Of course, as sadhana bhaktas, we have to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We have to study Bhagavad Gita as it is. Understand all that, but then a period of time, as sadhana bhakti, we progress more and more, then of course, it should lead to Raganuga Bhakti and so on. And there are stages, Srila Rupa Goswami mentions, we have discussed it several times, Adoshada, Tata, Sadhu Sangha and so on. So when it comes to Nishtha and Ruchi, then that is a stage when one can start practicing Raganuga Bhakti, which is following the footsteps of the devotees in Vraja. And that way, one can attain entrance into Vraja. So although Krishna is very pleased, but then he is also very protective of his devotees. So that pleasure is there, but then the emotion of protecting his devotees, their moods and emotion is of prime most important for him. And that's why, when we have to get entrance into Vraja, then we have to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? Because Hare Krishna Mahamantra will lead to Golok Vrindavan. And what do the devotees in Mathura and Dwaraka chant? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This Aishwarya Gyan is there for them. So those devotees, they start, even in Sri Sampradaya, we see, we are not criticizing, of course, but then if we see, they chant this mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's considered as their, this proper mantra that should be recited for the devotion to the Lord. And the mantra itself says, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudeva is the son of Vasudeva, who is opulent, who is staying in Mathura, Dwaraka, and so on. Whereas Hare Krishna Mahamantra is speaking about Krishna and his pleasure potency, Srimati Radharani. So Vasudeva is outside Krishna, and Krishna is inside of Vasudeva is outside of Vraja and Krishna is inside of Vraja. So that's why we also see, Srimad Bhagavatam, we have seen, in last class also it was mentioned that we start from the first canto, then we study Bhagavatam, we study till 9th canto, and then we enter into the 10th canto. So the first point is to understand the Aishwarya. Sadhana Bhakti starts with understanding the opulences of Krishna, and then finally, as we progress, it should lead to Vraja Bhakti. That is Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. That is how it should lead. One should progress towards that. So it starts, the first verse itself is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadasetaha. So the opulence of Krishna is explained first. And then after that, as we come to the end of 9th canto, then Shukdev Goswami speaks about the beauty of Krishna. Yasyananam Makara Kundala Charu Karna, Prajaka Pola Subham, and so on. So he's speaking about beauty of Krishna in the 9th canto itself at the end. And then he starts the 10th canto. So one's entrance, so Srimad Bhagavatam, it's in the form of Purana, of course, but then it takes one from Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, and so on. It's like the entire devotional progress is weaved into the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So as we make progress from first canto to 9th canto, and then subsequently to 10th canto, one is supposed to come to that mood. And if he has not come, then start from first canto again. Again, we'll be reading that again and again. So that's how it goes. And even last verse also, Barha Pedam Natavaru Papu, that verse also, it's speaking about beauty of Krishna. So one starts from Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and then he comes to the beauty of Krishna. So that we will see as it goes. So so when Krishna kills those demons, it's not for establishing dharma, it is actually for enhancing the devotee's mood. Now one more point here is Sarva Bhuta Manoharam. It says, the translation goes that Krishna captivates the minds of all living beings. So this word Manoharam, when we speak of Manoharam, it's always used in a very positive sense. That one who attracts one's mind, that is in a positive sense, means you are attracted to that particular person, or one who is very pleasing, so that you are automatically attached to that person. So Manoharam is used like that. But if you read Sanskrit itself, Manoharam is one who steals one's mind. That's all. It is not speaking about anything positive in this sense. So when we speak that, when the verse says that Sarva Bhuta Manoharam, that Krishna attracts the minds of every living being, but then the number of devotees, of course, in the spiritual world is full of devotees, but within this material world, the number of devotees is very less. And if we see all the other living entities, how can we understand that when this verse says that all living beings are attracted by Krishna, but then in this material world, we see that people are not attracted to Krishna. There are out and out demons, and there are people who are completely indifferent to Krishna also. So how can he be classified as Sarva Bhuta Manoharam? So, Manoharam, if we dwell into this word Manoharam itself, so there are people, who dwell or who have their mind attached to unpleasant things also. So that is also called Manoharam only. So although Manoharam is used in a very positive sense whenever that word comes, the word Manoharam itself is one's mind who's attached to a particular thing. So it can be attached to something wrong also. So that can also be technically called as Manoharam. His mind has been stolen by that particular thought. Right? So, there are people whose mind has been stolen, or whose emotions have been stolen by depressing thoughts. We call them pessimists, or even cruelly, if we have to call somebody, they are called as sadists also, who want to do cruel things. So their mind is absorbed in that. So Manoharam, that word itself can be applicable to such kind of people also. But when it comes to Krishna, when Krishna is said as Sarva Bhuta Manoharam, he attracts both devotees and demons to him. So there are several examples. There are many examples of devotees being attracted to Krishna. So that is very simple. So we'll not be discussing that. And from demons' perspective also, Hiranyaksha was there, completely absorbed in enmity to Lord Vishnu. Hiranyakashipu, of course. Then there's Ravana, there's Kamsa, totally absorbed in Krishna. So they are also Sarva Bhuta Manoharam. Correct? So devotees are Sarva Bhuta Manoharam. The demons are also Sarva Bhuta Manoharam. It's applicable to both of them when Krishna is classified or Krishna is spoken of like that. But then there are those who are indifferent to Krishna. So neither they are inimical. Of course, the original mood is inimical only. That's why they came to this material world. But in their manifest presence, or when they are interacting in this material world, it's not that they are going against Krishna or they are out and out demons. That kind of quality is not exhibited by them. So how can Krishna be Sarva Bhuta Manoharam for those people who have no clue who Krishna is, or who have no attraction towards Krishna? How can we say that Krishna is the Sarva Bhuta Manoharam? So that is understood because Krishna is non-different from his energies. So Krishna has spiritual energy, material energy, and the material energy is also non-different from him. So that is the understanding. So these people who are indifferent to Krishna, they surrender to the material energy of Krishna. And this is explained in Bhagavad Gita in several places. So by surrendering to his external energy, they are actually attracted towards him. So when we say Krishna is non-different from his energy, the qualities of the energies of Krishna are also manifesting from Krishna's personality only, right? So when these people who are indifferent to Krishna, they are interacting with Krishna's material energy, they are indirectly connected to Krishna. So that way he is Sarvabhuta Manoharam, because he is non-different from his energies. So although these people may not know that this energy belongs to Krishna, it actually belongs to him only. That is the absolute truth. That's the fact. So they surrender to his external energy, and then Krishna completely bewilders them eternally, it is said in Bhagavad Gita. And of course, those who surrender to his internal energy, they get the confidential knowledge of Krishna. So that way, Krishna is classified as Sarvabhuta Manoharam. So he attracts everybody either directly or indirectly. The demigods, the bhaktas and the demons, it's very clear classification. They are directly attracted to Krishna's personality. But those who are indifferent to him, or those who are the Mayavadis, they are bewildered by Krishna's energy. They also are under Krishna's influence only. So Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purports of Chaitanya Charitamrita that those who are not serving Krishna directly, they serve Krishna through his external energy, although they do not know about it. So everybody is serving Krishna. Krishna also says, no, Mama Vartamanu Vartante, Manushya Partha Sarvasha. All people are actually following him only. It's just that the people are not aware of it. They are not aware of it, but they are following his footsteps. They are following his system. Because when we say that Krishna is everywhere, he is all pervading. And even the translation of the first verse of Bhagavatam is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh, all pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my humble obeisances unto you. So Vasudeva is all pervading. So when Krishna is all pervading, there cannot be any existence which cannot be serving him. So everybody is serving him, either serving him through his internal energy or serving him through his external energy, but the service always goes on. It's just that because people are not aware of it, therefore they are bewildered. So this is why Shastra at several places say that one has to gain transcendental knowledge, and that will lead to liberation. So this transcendental knowledge is to understand that everyone is serving at each and every moment, is serving Krishna or Krishna's energy somehow or the other, and because he is not aware of what is happening, therefore is totally bewildered and he falls down to this material world, he cannot attain liberation. But if he gains the transcendental knowledge that even when he is performing some material activities, it is serving Krishna only, and it's not going to help him in any way. It's not going to lead him into anything fruitful or anything meaningful. It's not going to lead him to any kind of happiness with this material world. Then he shifts his attention to serving Krishna directly, so that there is a meaning to life. So when one gains transcendental knowledge, then the attention is automatically shifted from material situation to spiritual situation or transcendental situation. So that is why Shastra says that transcendental knowledge leads to moksha, or leads to devotional service. Okay, so these are some points. So I'll stop here. I think we have 5 minutes. If you have any questions, you can take, or comments.
They have the Mayavadis have their, everything is Krishna. So that concept, okay, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Actually I'm serving God. So you can extend it to so many things. So how do we justify that? How do we explain that? They will. That's when we say at this point,
yeah,
they may misuse this.
Yes, correct. So. Yeah, so the question is, we say that we explained that everybody is serving Krishna either directly or indirectly through his material energy. And the Mayavadis make this point that everything is Krishna. Everything is Krishna, and by doing any activity, we are actually serving. Manav Seva is Mahadeva Seva, and so on. So they speak like that. To how to counteract them. So the whole point itself is that Shastra is not only speaking about this, it also speaks about the personality of Krishna. So when I speak about transcendental knowledge, of course the point is there that everybody is serving Krishna either directly or indirectly, But then the understanding should also be that Krishna should not be offended. Krishna's personality has to be understood. So when we speak about Shastra, all these things are included. So Krishna has to be understood properly. And by serving the energy of Krishna, we are not gaining any benefit. Srila Prabhupada, he explains at several places, and of course it's a fact that the dharma of the living entity is to serve. Mamayavamshu jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. Srila Prabhupada explains one of these, it's sanatanaha. So eternally, the living entities are related to Krishna in a personal capacity. Prabhupada explains that in one of his lectures. So eternally they are related to Krishna in personal capacity, and eternally their dharma is to serve Krishna. Correct? And that is to serve the personality of Krishna, not the energy of external energy of Krishna. So although in one way, everybody is serving Krishna and his energies, either internal energy or external energy, but the point is to understand what serves, what pleases Krishna and what pleases the living entity also. So one may say he is serving Krishna by doing all these different activities, but that leads only to repeated birth and death. It is not leading one to Krishna. So that way, although the service is going on indirectly, but Krishna is not pleased by that, and this is not giving any kind of benefit to the living entities also. And they are not situated in their proper eternal dharma. Their dharma is to serve the personality of Godhead, the personality of Krishna. That is their eternal dharma. So if that is not satisfied, then one is going to be bewildered only. So, philosophically speaking, it is said, it is correct that Srila Prabhupada also writes, as I mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita's purport, that these people are also indirectly serving Krishna by serving the external energy, but it is not giving anybody benefit. It is not pleasing Krishna. It is not pleasing the living entities also in the ultimate sense. So that way, it becomes imperative that one comes, because serving the external energy, a sane living entity, a sane person can understand that although this philosophy sounds very nice, but it is only going to lead him to repeated suffering. There is birth, death, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi is there, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, so many kleshas are there. So one may claim, or one may have this understanding that he is serving Krishna by doing Manav Seva, this, that, and so on. But is it giving him the result that he wants? Is it giving him the ultimate happiness, the ananda for which he is entitled for? When that is not there, then what's the point of serving externally, serving indirectly like this? So Shastra also says, Krishna also says several places, Manmana bhava madbhakto. He says, you become my devotee, he says. He is not saying at any place that you become, you serve through me, through the external energy. So when we gain this knowledge from Shastra, we have to see the Shastra as whole, as to what Krishna is speaking, what directions he is giving to all the living entities. So the understanding, philosophical understanding can be this. This is for devotees to understand that everybody is engaged in service. But then the service to material energy is not devotional service. It is not bhakti, because it is not pleasing Krishna, and it does not lead to ultimate benefit of the living entities also. So service is there, but it's a service which is a nuisance for Krishna. There are servants who will serve their masters, but it's more of a problem for the masters. Although they may claim that we are serving the masters, but the master is not happy, then what's the point of service? That service is completely useless. So it's like that. Mayavadis also, they may claim that they are doing service, but that service is completely fruitless for them also, and of course for the Supreme Lord also. So devotional service is what is to be done. Okay. Yes, so thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.